Welcome to Face Forward, the podcast, the series that takes you behind the scenes of the riveting world of clinical trial management. I am your host, Valerie Coveney, and I am thrilled to be your guide on this journey through the nuances of planning, executing, and navigating the clinical research landscape. Welcome back to Face Forward. We are thrilled to have a returning guest who brings extensive healthcare and life science expertise to the discussion. To our listeners who might not have heard the news yet, Innovaderm is officially rebranding to the name Indero as of March 7, 2025. Today, he's here to talk to us about this exciting transition, Indero's Chief Business Officer, Jason Shuris.
Thank you for having me, Valerie. It's a pleasure.
Okay, so Jason, can you tell us about the reasons behind Innovaderm's transition? What's all this about?
So the main reasons for the transition is that we have expanded into rheumatology service offerings in addition to dermatology service offerings. And so because of that, we needed to rebrand the company, right? We can't go to market under the Innovaderm name. So we've decided on Indero after an extensive process of evaluating various names, looking at trademarks, competitive landscapes, you name it, and landed on Indero. So we've really spent the last 12 months or so preparing for this rebranding and this launch under our new name. It also coincides, of course, with our 25th anniversary as a company. So there's a nice little overlay there as well. Dermatology is still very, very much in our DNA and in our core offerings and really where we continue to thrive. But layering rheumatology on top of that for us is a very important strategic goal that we're now making good on in this rebranding.
Okay, and what would be the approach to that transition? How do you see it going through?
So first and foremost, we had to have a comprehensive rebranding strategy involving various stakeholders across the company, both internal stakeholders as well as external stakeholders. I think it's important also to note that the transition from Innovaderm to Indero is for no other reason other than to reposition the company in the marketplace. Nothing's changed from an ownership perspective. We weren't acquired, we weren't merged with anyone else. It's just a matter of, okay, we've expanded into a different therapeutic area, and now we have to rebrand the company as a result of that to make sure that the market clearly understands who we are and what we do. We also want to make sure that we maintain excellence in scientific rigor and quality. One of the things that Innovaderm historically has been known for is really, really understanding all the nuances and details of running trials within the dermatology space. So we've taken all of that knowledge, all of that experience, and quite frankly, that reputation, and kind of parlaying that into the rheumatology sphere as well. I think what's also important to note about this particular initiative for us, just outside of rebranding at all, is the fact that there aren't any other rheumatology-focused CROs out there, at least none that we've been able to find. There are a lot of CROs that have obviously done studies within rheumatology, but they're not focused in that space. And we found that, offering very, very rigorous and expertise services in dermatology and moving that into rheumatology, I think we're filling an unmet need in the market. I think we're filling a gap for those companies that are really looking for let's call it the, Innovaderm of rheumatology, if you will. That's really what we're trying to do here is take that reputation, that brand, that excellence, and now move that into a new market in rheumatology. And there's also a lot of crossover between rheumatology and dermatology as well. A lot of our current clients that are running dermatology trials also have programs in the rheumatology space. So there's a natural transition there for us to move from one space to another, but still keep that key focus in dermatology as well.
Definitely. Okay, and what would be the potential risks and benefits associated with the transition?
So let's start with the risks. And I think the key risk for me from the beginning was really making sure that we avoided any confusion in the marketplace. Innovaderm has built a fantastic reputation over the last 25 years now. And for those that know us very, very well and enjoyed working with us, we need to make sure that when we do the transition and have done the transition from Innovaderm to Indero, people understand why we're doing it. People understand that nothing has really changed as far as what our core values are in terms of providing dermatology services, in addition to, of course, now rheumatology services. And so we needed to make sure that we didn't lose that that brand loyalty, that recognition in the marketplace. And for me, communicating that to the market at large was very, very, very important. The last thing we want is for people to be confused about what's happened to Innovaderm. Why is it now Indero? Was the company acquired? Were they merged? So on and so
Mm-hmm.
forth. And we really, really, really wanted to make sure that the message was clear, that we controlled the message, and that our clients and future potential clients really understood why we're doing this. Now, I would say that some of the benefits, certainly from doing this, is that we'll have a stronger brand identity now in both dermatology as well as rheumatology. As I said earlier, there aren't any rheumatology focused CROs out there. So, kind of being the first to market, I would say, in that sphere is important for us. And making sure that we can tie the Indero brand to the rheumatology, new rheumatology services that we're offering to that market is very, very important. I think it also allows us to attract, obviously, new clients in the space, which, clearly that's the main reason why we're doing this is
Mm-hmm.
to kind of expand our sandbox, if you will, but also bring in a different group of clientele. Not everyone's working in both therapeutic areas, right? Some companies are just working in the rheumatology sector. We want to make sure that we have brand recognition with them and can attract them as well. I think, leveraging our global capabilities is important too. We have less, I would say, less brand recognition globally than we do here in North America,
Mm-hmm.
mainly because our expansion globally is fairly recent. Over the last few years, we've expanded to countries within Europe, throughout Europe. We're now looking at Latin America and Asia Pacific. But I think it gives us an opportunity to kind of set the table with kind of a new market in those regions under the Indero flag. So I think less of an issue than certainly it would be here in North America with folks that really understand and know us or had known us as a Novaderm. It kind of gives us the opportunity to introduce ourselves more globally and broad to clientels that are outside of this space, but are still working within the therapeutic areas that we're really focusing on now.
Okay, so looking ahead, what will be the vision for Indero?
So a few things we want to make sure we check the box on here, Valerie. First is we want to make sure that we maintain our identity and our core values, right? We've been able to build a fantastic company over the last 25 years and a fantastic reputation that we want to make sure is not diluted, not forgotten, not questioned with this change. And so we need to make sure that that identity and those core values remain intact and that everyone understands that we're leveraging that and servicing a new market in addition to our current market, of course, which is dermatology as well. So, what is that? That's commitment to scientific expertise. It's making sure that we deliver super high quality service and have very, very happy clients. I can tell you that we went through an exercise last year with the help of an outside firm to do some market research for us and did some client interviews for us. And we were very, very pleased with the feedback that we got on the client satisfaction surveys during that research. So we want to make sure that we're not going to put that in jeopardy, right? We want to build on that. We don't want to dilute that. So that's certainly very, very important. Leveraging, of course, the expertise that we have in dermatology, in addition to now rheumatology, we've brought in some real heavy hitters in the rheumatology space, not just from a medical perspective, but also from an operational perspective. We've done a lot of legwork in understanding the landscape, the clinical trial landscape, the client landscape, certainly the investigator landscape, which is really, 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 really important for us. We need to make sure that the investigators know us, we know the investigators, we understand which ones can recruit best or do the highest quality work in certain indications that we're going to be pursuing. And so, that's kind of how we've approached dermatology historically, and that's we're taking those learnings and applying them now to the rheumatology space as well. And so now we're able to offer kind of a tailored expert approach to both segments of the market, to both therapeutic areas, and really truly be what we're calling a dual focused CRO, which I think the market really needs, and we're happy to fill that gap in the marketplace. So, I think the sky's the limit, Valerie. I think there's a lot of fantastic potential here for us to really grow at a very rapid pace. And hopefully, as we build our reputation in the rheumatology space and continue to deliver high quality work to that sector, our reputation will only grow and expand, not just within North America, but globally as well. So I'm personally very excited about this. We've been working very, very hard on this. It's finally come to fruition here, and I couldn't be more pleased with the work and the effort that the team's put in to get us to this point. And now it's on us to execute on our plans and make sure that this becomes a reality for what is now Indero.
Yes, definitely. Amazing. Thank you, Jason. This concludes our episode for today. It really was a pleasure talking with you.
Thanks so much, Valerie. It was a pleasure speaking with you again. This is my
Yes.
second podcast now. Very, very, very exciting. But like I said, we're really excited about this, and we think we can do a lot of great things for a lot of fantastic companies out there that didn't have access to the type of services that we will be offering now. So thank you very much.
As we conclude another illuminating episode of Face Forward, we find ourselves at the crossroads of science and progress. Remember that behind the jargon and statistics lie stories of unwavering commitment, meticulous observation, and the pursuit of evidence that shapes our understanding of health and disease. Stay at the forefront of knowledge and innovation and follow Face Forward on your preferred platform. My name is Valerie Kovney. Thank you for joining us. Until next time.